It is Wednesday morning, and I am going to have 3 recipes. Uh, I think I might just have 2, but I'm going to try and get out 3. So they're all just sweet treats, and that is it for right now. Luckily, I'm not hurting as bad as I was last night. It was really cloudy yesterday, and it was ordinarily, because of the keto, my arthritis is kept at bay. But when it's raining or it's cloudy, it doesn't matter. There's still pain. But I'm not in pain today, so that's a good thing, and I will check back in later. I hope everyone has a great day. Here is my first meal of the day. It is just sweet Italian sausage, and I took it out of the casing and just cooked it like this. In this pan, I am melting together 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, 3 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. To the butter, coconut oil, and vanilla extract, I have also added a pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of Hershey's dark cocoa, 2 tablespoons of powdered monk fruit, and because it is not really sweet enough for me, the monk fruit isn't, I added 10 drops of stevia. So to that mixture, I added these Pro Mix protein puffs. I added 3 scoops to the saucepan, and then I just divided it in here. I'm sure some are thicker than the others, but I've got this on a lid from one of my Pyrex pans so that it's not so floppy. So now I'm just gonna put these in the refrigerator. I have to put them downstairs because there's not enough room up here. So I will show them to you later when they are done. I would say let them chill for at least an hour or longer, and I'll come back in a little bit. So here's my second meal of the day. I know it doesn't look very appetizing, but it still tastes good. It was the leftover Portofino yellowfin tuna from yesterday with avocado in it. I had lemon juice in it, so that's why the avocado is still good. So I promise it's still good. In this bowl, I am measuring out 70 grams of cacao butter. Okay, got a little bit more in there. All right, I'll go with 71 grams. 30 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. Honestly, I think 30 grams is too much, so I'm just going to go with 20 grams. $25 grams of powdered monk fruit. I've got the monk fruit erythritol blend. Gone a little overboard there. Okay, I'm good with 26. In this pan, I'm melting these 70 grams of cacao butter. And I apologize for the noise. There's some kind of big truck out there making a whole lot of racket. So once this is melted, I will add my other ingredients. Okay, the cacao butter is melted, and I've turned the heat off. We don't need it now. And I think it actually takes less time to just melt it this way than in the microwave. So to this I'm adding 20 grams of cocoa powder. The recipe calls for 30 grams, but I thought that was too much. And then I've got 25 grams of powdered erythritol. Actually, I got 26 grams, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm also going to add, the recipe calls for 10 drops of stevia. I'm going to use 15 because the erythritol is never sweet enough for me. All right. Okay, get that stirred up until it's smooth. And then the recipe calls for 1 cup of macadamia nuts, but I do not have any of those. So I am using pecans, and I just gave them a rough chop because I really didn't want to put whole ones in here. Here's what it looks like so far. And I think I only put a ½ cup in here. I think I should probably go ahead and put the other ½ cup in here because it's quite soupy. So I'll be back. Okay, so I added another ½ cup of the chopped pecans to the mix here, and it looks a lot better. You're supposed to put this on parchment paper in mounds, but I don't have any parchment paper at the moment. So, I don't know. I'm going to just spoon this out. Actually, I'm going to put it in a bowl first so that I don't scratch the bottom of my pan with a spoon. And I'll be right back. If there's one thing that drives me absolutely insane, it is to watch somebody use a metal utensil on the bottom of a non-stick coated pan. So I'm using a bowl. And I am just going to fill these little cavities, they're rather small, with this mixture since I don't have any parchment paper. And whatever doesn't fit in these, I will just put in a container. He put them in rather large mounds in the original recipe, and I will link to the original recipe too. Okay, so I'm going to continue this off camera. So these are supposed to be shelf stable. They don't need refrigeration. And what was left I ended up putting in this one. So I believe that's probably true because I made some earlier today that I forgot to video that I used slivered almonds and shredded coconut in, and I refrigerated them, and they are too hard to bite into. And those are in a green silicone mold that I have downstairs. And in my other purple silicone mold is the ones that I made this morning that I did video. So I'm going to let these sit out at room temperature. I'm going to take them downstairs and store them in a container down there. And I will let you know how they come out. So that noise that I was apologizing for earlier, the big truck sound, has something to do with the sewer. I walked downstairs into, right next to our laundry room is a drain in the hallway. and around that drain is some kind of black crap dirt, and it reeks like sulfur down here. I'm in my room right now, so I can't smell it in my room as long as I've got my door shut. But when I go out into the main area of the basement, whew, wow, I hope that doesn't last long. So, yay! So there is the nastiness that has come up through the drain since that big truck was out there fiddling with the sewer. And it reeks. Okay, so I've got the results. I like them all. I've made these. This is the third time I've made these. And I used the ProMix protein puffs for these. And these are not shelf stable. They need to be refrigerated because, like, if you hold them in your hand, they do melt because of the coconut oil and the butter in them. But I really, really like them. And I like the crunch. They, kind of taste like a crunch bar. And the puffs provide the crunch. I didn't use near as many of the protein puffs as Steve at Serious Keto uses. He uses 6 scoops because he uses the silicone mold with the big bars. So he used a scoop for each cavity. I had these smaller cavities with, I believe there's 12 in it. So mine are smaller. And I used 3 scoops for the whole recipe. And I will link the recipe in the description box. So these are really good. I like these a lot. And then Tom at Black Sheep Keto has this recipe. So these have almond slivers and shredded coconut in them. And I refrigerated them. He said that you don't need to refrigerate these because of the cacao butter. So I did refrigerate them, and they were so hard that I couldn't bite through them. So I had to take them out of the refrigerator and leave them sit out for a while. So they're fine now. And then these, I used pecans. And I just had a small mold with the small cavities. I didn't have any parchment paper, which is what he said to put them on. But these turned out really good. I had to leave them sit for quite a while. But these don't melt near as quickly as these do. But either way, both of them are really good. So I will link the recipes in the description box below for both of their recipes. And I guess I can put in the description box too how I made mine. So that's the results, and I will be right back. Hey there. I am closing this out for the night. My dinner ended up being the same as my first meal of the day, only I put mustard on it this time, so it was a sweet Italian sausage. One of the things that I wanted to mention was for the crunch bars, that's gonna be considered dirty keto because the protein puffs have tapioca in them. So if you're clean keto, then I wouldn't make these. And I actually made 2 recipes of the clusters. One of them I didn't record, but I will link down below in the description box what I did. So I guess that's it for now. I am having my bedtime tea, and I am getting ready to do some editing, and I will get this uploaded. And if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And I will see everyone tomorrow. Have a great night.